Hi, hello. I just recorded this video and didn't turn my mic on. So we're back for round 2. Let's see if we can do it. So this is the Dilemma of a Book Nerd tag. I saw Connor at Booktube do this. I will link his channel in the description box, as well as the original creator of this tag, if I can find it. I'm pretty sure I can with a quick Google search. So let's wait for this jet to pass us by and continue on with these questions. So the first question is, how do I store my books? And the answer is bookshelves. This used to be downstairs, but my kids are monsters, and also when I take pictures for my Instagram, it's a hassle to carry books up and down, and I end up just leaving them in piles in my bedroom, and it just looks cluttered and messy, and I hated it. So we moved everything upstairs, and then I reorganized everything, and I put some books on my shelf that was behind me, my little coffin bookshelf, which is also in the corner. I will go ahead and show you both of those right now. So this is my main bookshelf. I have one smaller one and a few downstairs on like a built-in. But this is in my bedroom, so my kids don't destroy it. And I actually don't have, my room is too small to back up enough to fit the whole thing in frame with this lens on it. So this is what I got. So mostly my favorite books are on top, or pretty ones like the Liza Laclamora. I haven't actually read yet, but I think the cover's really pretty. Some candles from Book and Jane, my Lee Bardugo and Sanderson signed copies, and just a few more. This little ding dong, I don't really know what he is. He's like a pig dog. I don't know. He's cute though, and I like him. So then over here we have my mass market paperback versions of The Wheel of Time. My hardcovers are downstairs, but these shelves are too short to fit them. My kids stole this shelf. It's like a removable, adjustable one, and apparently my kids thought I only needed this one. These are my Dark Tower books, Stephen King, that I found at the thrift store. Some like kind of more like high adult fantasy type books right here. Got Tolkien, Promise of Blood, the Powder Mage trilogy. These are more like sci-fi, so I have the first 4 of The Expanse, Warcross by Marie Lu, just like some J. Kristoff books, and then I found these Walking Dead graphic novels at the thrift store for freaking 10 cents a piece. Moving on down, we have some more YA kind of fantasy books. And also my mass market paperback Brandon Sanderson's. I actually have all of Stormlight. I don't know why only Words of Radiance is right there. Lower than that, more YA fantasy, ones that I didn't really like as much. Not like, Neverending Story actually doesn't belong down there. I just can't fit it anywhere else. But yeah, I didn't like most of these. I haven't read Raven's Apple yet, and Cinder I liked okay. Well, I actually do plan on trying to read those. And Darker Shade of Magic I thought was fine. I don't know that I'll continue that series. And then over here, let's actually go back to fantasy. Some more fantasy. And then a lot of my Book of the Month books. More like contemporary and, well, I guess not more contemporary. There's like 2 contemporary books on all my shelves. But yeah, so then these are just like memoirs and historic fiction and just sort of different things that don't really go with my fantasy section. These are like old nostalgic reads. I keep them down here because I don't plan on reading them again anytime soon, but they just hold a place in my heart, so I always keep them. Over here we have a little bit more classic novels. Also that Black Jewel trilogy book I can't fucking fit anywhere else. I haven't finished the Abortion trilogy. I actually couldn't get into Sabriel, but I actually think I might try to do that. And then over here, last but not least, we have The Inheritance Cycle and Pillars of the Earth. I also have this small coffin bookshelf that I used to record in front of, but I've moved a lot of stuff around. So up top we have my Game of Thrones and the swag and all that, and then this one's not fully organized yet because I moved a lot of stuff around. Narnia, I got a Book of the Month I need to open, and then some more Book of the Month books down there that I just thought looked pretty. But yeah, I still have to mess around with this one quite a bit. The shelf behind me, my husband built me for Christmas a few years ago because he just loves me so much. The coffin bookshelf, one of my friends works at a thrift store, and she texted me and said, hey, there's this coffin bookshelf. It's $20. I'll bring it to your house for you. Would you like it? And I was like, absolutely. So I also have that one. How do you keep track of what you read? I use these 2 little handy dandy notebooks. This one is just kind of a fun one. It's a bullet journal I like to do little doodles and stuff in. My TBR videos are done in that one. And then this guy lives in my purse usually. My husband got me this thing as well from a local art store. And in this I have every book that I own. It needs to be updated. And then the ones that I have highlighted are books that I've read. And then I also have like, so I collect the Wheel of Time books. And so I have, whether they're paperback or hardback, which ones that I have in which version of it. And then when I go to the used bookstore, I can just whip this out of my purse and have it. And then I also just started tracking the Dark Tower by Stephen King as well. Do you lend out your books? Absolutely. Only to my best friends who are also in my book club. So we all take care of our books. We read quickly. And you know, if you lend a book to someone, first of all, they usually ask if you have it and they can borrow it. And when they do that, it's generally with the intention of reading it. And so they usually read it pretty quickly and return it, and that is not an issue. Random people though, like if I met somebody at like some spouse fucking coffee thing and they were like, oh, do you have this book? I'd be like, I do not know. How do you buy or acquire books? I generally buy them from used bookstores or Amazon, Barnes & Noble. I love thrift books. It's one of my favorite websites to purchase used books from. Generally shipping is free if you spend more than $10, which is pretty easy. Books are like $3 a piece on there. Obviously the scale depends on how many books they have currently. So some books, one time I went on there to get a book and it was like, this book is $1,300. And I was like, it's $18 on Amazon. And they were like, well, we're charging $1,300. And I was like, okay, I'll go with Amazon. How do you respond to comments like, how do you read so much? I generally talk about how it's my hobby. Like some people binge watch Netflix. Some people play video games. Like this is what I do as my hobby. I don't watch very much TV. I don't play video games. I would say reading, photography, crocheting, those are my hobbies. So that's what I spend time doing. Everybody divides their time differently. How do I get through books quickly with 3 children? I love audiobooks. I have the Kindle app on my phone. So if you spend hours a day scrolling through social media, you could open the Kindle app and scroll through a book. Same motion, better results. How do you pick your next read? I have a TBR. I base books off of my mood, what is coming out, like new releases, which I enjoy following. Books that I want to read, like I'm trying to read more adult fantasy and get through like a large amount of the books that Daniel Green recommends, because goddamn he recommends so many books and I can only read so many books at a time. So like I'm trying to make it through the Wheel of Time, so generally I'll be like, okay, we'll add 1 or 2 books from the Wheel of Time this month, and I also want to do, you know, a Stormlight book, or I want to reread the Kingkiller Chronicles, or, you know, whatever. Like I try to get a mix of things for different reasons. So and I'm also a mood reader, so if a book puts me in a reading slump like Crescent City did, I generally try to do a reread of something that I like, so that way I don't get irritated that that book exists. How do you pick what books to bring on holiday? So my family is really big on road trips. We can't really do that in Alaska because we're basically just an island, but not. I don't know, we're surrounded by water in Canada. So we can't really go anywhere except within the state, which is fine. It's a huge state, but you can't travel a lot of time in the off seasons. I don't know why I'm rambling about this. Anyway, I like audiobooks because we go on road trips pretty much every time we go on a vacation. And then obviously I have the Kindle app, and I'll usually bring whatever physical book I'm reading and then a random book from my backless TBR. Do I write, highlight, or mark up my books in any way? No. I am way too lazy. I usually am reading in bed. So I'll take up my phone and record my initial thoughts, reactions, predictions. So that way later on I can look back on it, create like an outline of things, and like try to remember how I felt upon initially reading a book, so that way I can create a video or discuss it or just whatever. I just enjoy doing that. And also I review books on Goodreads as well, so I can go back and listen to those and see what I was thinking throughout the book. I'm doing a lot with my head and shoulders today. Which do you prefer, new release or backlist books? I like both. I really love reading books as they release, especially if there's a hype around it or if it's part of a popular series. Like I think that's a really fun time. It's like when, you know, books to movies, like when Harry Potter was coming out and you're like, today's the day. But also I like to read the backless books too, because there's a lot of fantasy that I just ignored for years. So many books that are out there that I just never picked up. So it's one of those things where I'm excited to read these series. I'm excited for new books. I just love books. Just give me all the books. Do you read books as they release or wait for the whole series to come out? I absolutely read them as they release because I have no patience. Here's the thing. A Song of Ice and Fire is one of my favorite book series ever. It is incomplete, as most human beings that live on the planet Earth know. If I hadn't read those, I don't know who I would be as a person, because they have shaped my fantasy taste and so much. So if I waited until a book series was finished to read it, I'd be missing out on a lot of series, okay? Kingkiller Chronicles, beautiful. Liza Lakamora, sitting right there. I'm gonna read that shit. And it is unfinished as well. It's like the trifecta of series that are unfinished, and I guarantee I'll fucking like it because I just love things that are unattainable, apparently. So yeah, that was the last question. I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your opinions in the comments, and stay tuned because there will be more to come.